up on KOTV, Munyai and Power collide for a second time at bantamweight. We take a closer look at the knockout king, Randall Bailey. And the Duke, Tommy Morrison, gets it on in gold. The fight went real good, said Robert the Ghost Guerrero moments after reclaiming the IBF featherweight title with a TKO of Spend Abazi. I totally dominated using my jab. There were some things I could have done better, but I got him out of there. Now that I'm a two-time world champion, it feels good. Tommy Morrison made a winning return to the ring after a 9-year exile with a second-round TKO of John Castle in West Virginia, USA. Time now for action, and we're in Johannesburg, where Vusi Malinga and Jerome Mercado got it on for the WBC International Bantamweight title. We'll pick this one up in round 2.
Malinga trying to throw everything into that. Decent work on the ropes now. This is a lot better from Vusi Malinga. Looked a little tentative early on, but again there, just allows his Filipino opponent, Jerome Mercado, to come into this. This could end up being quite an interesting battle. Anyone who thought Malinga came into this as an overwhelming favourite may just be proved wrong. As we head towards the end of this second round, it's the challenger who's more than holding his own. And at the moment, it's almost apologetic shots from Malinga. Mercado is getting in, and getting in at will, and moving well as well. You've got to try and step it up, Malinga, no doubt about that. Mercado has just stretched away a little bit on the cards. Looks a lot crisper and more attentive with his work. Malinga just a little bit sloppy at times, and he's not worked this man out at all. And the South African under pressure from a partisan home crowd. And is he just going to overstretch and leave himself open to the counter? Left himself open to a little body shot there. And Mercado is just gaining in confidence as this one goes on. And a strong end to the 8th too, this from Mercado. There's certainly some frustration from Malinga, and you can feel it in the crowd as well. Left hook there from Mercado, which knocked the chin about. And what a good performance this has been from Jerome Mercado. Not too much was known about him coming into this. Came into it on the back of a defeat, and yet here could be on the verge of taking Malinga's WBC International Bantamweight title in only his second defense. And Malinga is low on energy and perhaps low on hope here, and you can see by the worried looks at ringside, he could be close to relinquishing his crown here. Mercado just needs to see it out. And what a night this could be for the Filipino. He rightly holds his hand in celebration.
112 to 115, Mercado.
That's absolutely correct.
He scores his fight 114 to 114 as a draw.
Well, that's a little bit more surprising, and unbelievably, Malinga has retained his title with a points draw.
On the same bill in South Africa, 2-fight unbeaten Cleotis Umbahaley and pro debutant Shadrach Makama faced off in a bantamweight contest. This one was lively throughout, and after 4 competitive rounds, it was the more experienced man Umbahaley who picked up the decision in the Nasrec Indoor Arena. Staying in the Southern Hemisphere, and we go to Australia, where Paul Briggs and Rupert van Aswegen clashed for the IBF Australasian Light Heavyweight title. Former world title challenger Briggs was pushed hard over 12, but did enough to win by a wide margin on the judges' card and give notice that he's not finished at world level. He improves to 26-3. Former WBC super middleweight champ Glenn Catley survived a couple of rough moments to get his second comeback win against Russian Sergei Karchenko with a fifth-round stoppage in Bristol, England. And Moldavian Ivan Gonsa claimed the vacant European light middleweight crown against Ukrainian Vladimir Borovsky in Chelyabinsk, Russia. It proved a nightmare first world title shot from Filipino Z the Dream Gores when he lost by split decision to Mexican Fernando Montiel, who retained his WBO super flyweight title. The final fight of five-time world champion Johnny Tapia's career ended with a thrilling brawl and a points win in his hometown of Albuquerque. Thanks for the memories, Johnny. Next stop on this Boxing Express is London, England, where Gary Hotstaff Wilkham and Andrew Smiley Facey clashed for the English light middleweight title. Let's join it in round one.
Not really throwing anything with aggression at the moment, Walkham, and that's the frustration for those who chant his name. Perhaps he's just trying to see what Andrew Facey is all about, although he would have seen him a few times previously, no doubt about it. At the moment, he'll be disappointed. It's Facey, the aggressor. That was a good left hook, though, and that was better. Gary Walkham just opening up and being waved in by his promoter there. Oh dear, oh dear. Came in there with purpose, didn't he, Andrew Facey? Teasing with that right and connecting with the left. It's a languid, lazy style at times, but it's certainly been effective. And Walkham's got plenty to think about here. Challenging for this English light middleweight title. Both would dearly love to strap it around their waist before the night's out, but at the moment, I think Facey is looking the stronger candidate. The man with arguably one of the best aliases in boxing, Andrew Smiley Facey, well, he'll be happy with this so far. And hot stuff at the moment is lukewarm. Look at the focus there from Facey, and you could see that coming. The eyes were bearing down. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. And Walkham hits the deck, and there's a glazed look. Caught a little left there, and again, booming shots from Facey. Just wrapping them around, and there's not much coming back from Walkham now. Facey is bringing everything. It's there for the taking. Look at this. This is unrelenting punishment on the ropes. And surely now they've got to step in and end it, and they have. Well, this was awesome in the end from Andrew Facey. A real power display at the end of the fifth round, and he gets it done.
On the same card, former IBO super middleweight champion Brian McGee continued his comeback from the 2006 defeat to Carl Froch. Andrew Lowe had only been beaten once in 17, but this drab points win made that 17-2, while Ultimate McGee moved to 27-3. Super bantamweight Ray Boom Boom Bautista TKO'd Marino Gonzalez in round 3 to claim the vacant WBO Intercontinental Super bantamweight title. And in Argentina, native Juan Carlos Rivero will be looking towards bigger prizes after stopping Adrian Dimas Garzon in 7 to retain his WBA Federatin light flyweight crown. Speculation has been rife that Lennox Lewis was coming back to conclude some unfinished business with former opponent Vitaly Klitschko. The Lion has since confirmed his gloves will be staying locked up. I have no idea how these rumours get started, but I'm a man of my word. I will remain retired, said the former heavyweight boss. One heavyweight who couldn't resist a return was German Axel Schulz. We were shocked to learn that the German suffered a stroke 3 days after his comeback defeat last year, and though he's returned to health, he cannot close his right hand. It's time to give it up, Axel. Former WBA welterweight champion Luis Collazo's own hand problems could keep him out of the ring for up to 6 months. The injury occurred during his loss to Sugar Shane Mosley, and the Southpaw will campaign for a rematch on his return. And Panama has honoured its favourite son Roberto Duran by naming him the nation's ambassador for sport. Hands of Stone is enjoying an award-filled 2007. He's due to be inducted to the Hall of Fame in Canastota in June. Despite 9 years out of the ring after being diagnosed with HIV, Tommy Morrison returned to action this week with a win. Here he is in 1995 versus Donovan Razor Ruddock.
So many intriguing matchups, Al, because, you know, the old adage, don't left hook with a left hooker, but that's the money punch for both guys.
Both guys have to do it, you're right. I was going to remind people of the nice uppercut by Ruddock. Oh, there goes Morrison! He leaned in and got whacked with an uppercut. Will Morrison box? Is there room to box? No, he's going to go after Razor Ruddock. He's moving now, but they wanted the 16-foot ring, Morrison. Now it may not serve him well if he has to box.
He sure could use a 20-footer right here. He has to get the jab going, and Ruddock will try to put him away here, loading up with everything. Hey, Morrison may have to pound his way out of this.
If he can throw combinations as he did just then. It's Ruddock using the jab sparingly. Razor Ruddock is not a guy that throws a lot of punches. There's the uppercut landing, but this time Morrison absorbs the punch.
But he still paid for it.
Oh, he hurt Ruddock with a right uppercut. Razor Ruddock got rocked by the same punch to knock Morrison down. Lifted, give him a standing 8 count. That's bizarre.
Because of the gloves on the top of the rope being used as a support.
I guess. It just seemed like Morrison had a big advantage there that they took away from him. Tommy Morrison hurts Ruddock, but that counts as a knockdown would. And the IBC has a standing 8 count in effect. There's a hook by Ruddock, and it may have hurt Morrison. Big left hook! Down goes Razor Ruddock!
Kill here. And Ron Lipton told us before the fight he would like to see the standing 8 not in effect here. The 3 knockdown rule not in effect because of flash knockdowns. He may be forced to stop this, yet both fighters look like they can keep going.
Remember, Razor Ruddock was the part of the most controversial stoppage of the year when the fight was stopped against Mike Tyson by referee Richard Steele. Morrison is nailing him though, but Ruddock is still holding on.
He needs to buy about 10 more seconds, and it's a long one. He will not do it.
Oh my, it's over.
Coming up on KOTV, it's the rematch we've all been waiting for. Munyai and Power get it on again, and we get to know Randall Bailey, aka the Knockout King, so don't go anywhere.
You can now experience the softness of silk with the protection of Always. Introducing new Always with Silk. The first Always pad with the added touch of silk. Always with Silk. Feels like silk, protects like always. Now at Superdrug.
Agile, yet tough. Introducing the all-new Nissan Qashqai, the hatchback redefined.
Thou shalt not be afraid to make an entrance. Thou shalt not fear throwing caution to the wind. Thou shalt never regret being who you really are. the new GHD styler. Thou shalt never be the same girl twice.
Fortunately, you don't move like your dad. You develop your own unique style as a baby. It's why Pampers Active Fit has three-way fit. It has a shaped core between the legs and adapts to fit around them and at the waist. For unbeatable fit and freedom to move. Three-way fit from Pampers, inspired by babies.
Thank you very much indeed.
Carrier bags.
Wimbledon?
Thanks to you, we used 300 million fewer last year at Tesco. So be sure to keep collecting your Green Club card points for not using new ones. You can use whatever you want instead. We're not too fussed. But why not dig out an old carrier bag? Or maybe try a bag for life? Tesco. Every little helps.
Hi! Hope it's not a bad time. You had to come and see me. Can I use your bathroom?
Harpic 3-in-1. Cleans, continuously fragrances, and contains DuraGuard.
Yeah, sure.
If only everything stayed as fresh. What does your loo say about you? Now new Harpic Max. Up to 3 times longer for outstanding cleaning and 4 weeks of continuous fragrance.
Leopold's school just called. He hasn't shown up.
I know of a guy. He's a specialist.
You're not very good with people.
No, but I'm good at finding them.
A new drama that'll keep you on the edge of your seat.
Bring him home.
Kidnapped starts Tuesday the 13th of March on 4.